discover what they're doing to keep their phone ringing, equipment running, and businesses booming. Now your host, Scott Andreessen.
Oh, hello, everyone. This is Scott with the Excavation Profits Podcast, and I want to thank you for joining us today. We have a very special guest with us, founder, the creative genius behind IDIGBEST, Phil Paul. How are you doing, Phil?
I'm good. How are you doing? It's nice to be on the show.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. So I was really intrigued by this and wanted to invite you on. Be kind of fun here. We've got one of your clients that we can bring in and they can kind of share their experience of using IDIGBEST, and we can kind of hear their story. Would that be all right?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. So this is Matt Hiskies. Hopefully I'm saying his name right.
Second.
I hear you loud and clear. I just can't see you.
There we go.
We have visual.
What's going on, boys?
Awesome. So I wanted to bring you on, Matt, because you actually use this technology. And so a firsthand account would be really cool. Would you mind kind of sharing your experience and I can ask you some questions about how this works?
Yeah. It's been about 7-8 years now. I think I've had it since, almost the beginning.
Not to cut you off, can you first give us a little background, who you are, what you do, your company, and so on?
All right, yeah. I grew up a garbage man, actually, running equipment for my family, and I just decided to jump out of that, do my own thing, started excavating, got into it, got moving and shaking, got a lot of work real quick, and needed to go a lot faster. So cool. Ended up getting into this with Phil. I don't even remember where I found him, but started talking to him. We started getting systems and rocking and rolling, and it's been incredible ever since. We're flying.
Nice.
No grade guys, machines doing their own thing.
So what challenges were you facing with your excavation business before using the IDIGBEST system?
Well, when I started, I had a really good operator that was working for me, kind of showing me how to get into it. Like I said, I was just a garbage man, so we were figuring that out. And he was very expensive, and I had him in the hole every day. I'd run the hole, and he'd be running grade down at the bottom, and he was super expensive. And I said, man, I got to figure out a way to keep him in a machine making me money instead of costing me a bunch of money and sitting at the bottom. You try to train 2 or 3 guys, they're useless. You can't. It's hard to teach somebody that's been doing it forever. So we switched into searching for grade control and tried a few of my buddies' things, and none of it was really worth it. I was like, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. And I found IDIGBEST. It's fast enough to keep up with me. So away we went.
Awesome. Now, what kind of specific problems did you encounter with, say, accuracy, your efficiency, or costs before implementing this system?
Well, yeah, you shop around and everything is super expensive. And, I was talking to Phil and he's like, listen, it ain't really that expensive. I'm not like the other guys, blah, blah, blah. And, he's selling me, obviously. So, okay, we'll listen. We'll hear it out. And started going through the system, and he just kept saying, you're not understanding. It's in real time. You don't have to slow down. You do not have to worry about it. You just go, and it's telling you what you're doing the entire time. And, so I gave it a shot. I went with him. We got it all put together. He came up. I answered my phone calls every 5 minutes. When we're first starting out, it's tough to figure out all the tech and stuff. But once I got rolling, it really does. I mean, I dig fast, but, we're here to move yards of dirt. So, and now I can cut, I can stay on grade all day, and the thing just flies.
Very nice. So it improved efficiency. You're a lot faster. You can do more jobs because of that. Yeah,
and the biggest thing, the bucket's the size of the bucket. It's going to go as fast as it can, but I don't have to slow down and see where I'm at digging wise. It'll just cut it flat for me, rock and roll. As long as you're good at, knowing where to put the dirt. Everything else, as far as cutting grade is perfect. But the bigger thing is I got all my other guys working on other things all the time. I got multiple jobs going. I got, the drivers can stay in the trucks, the operators can stay in their machines, and I don't have to think about where they're at and what they're doing.
What was your first impression of using IDIGBEST?
I couldn't believe it was real, to be honest with you. I mean, it's wild to watch what you're doing in real time with all your numbers right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you grow up, you've been so used to jumping down in the hole, getting the grade stick, listening to the beat, blah, 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 all the fun things, you know, that we go through. And then pretty soon, all of a sudden, you're digging in golf shorts and tennis shoes because you ain't got to get out in the mud no more. You just start digging and go.
I think I'm gonna hire him for a salesman now. Shit.
Everybody still talks about how I'm always in golf clothes all year round. I'm like, hey, listen, guys, I don't get out of the mud. I don't do, you know what I mean? I don't have to run around in the hole. I don't have to check this or check that. Play it out for about 10 minutes, get in the machine, and start going. As long as you set that laser up first thing in the morning, you're good to go all day.
Now, starting out, you never used one of these systems before. That's correct?
Yeah, no.
How easy or difficult was it for you to integrate this IDIGBEST into your workflow?
It actually was pretty good. I had a lot of, trying to figure out where to run wires and get all the hoses and all the stuff. Once you get it all on, I mean, Phil came up and ran me through it, for 2 hours, I think. We kind of trained on it, figured it out. And then I just, if I got questions, I call him. Back then, I call him a lot more than I do now. I kind of got it under control now. I've had it for a long time. But, yeah. Plus, he's always tweaking. So, I mean, you're always, hey, Phil, let's try this. Oh, yeah, give me a minute. And we change directions, whatever we got to do, just to make it better all the time. But it's so, once you get rolling and get the principle of how it actually, how it's supposed to work, you just end up going that direction without even thinking.
How long did it take you to actually start feeling like comfortable with it, using it?
I'd probably say third or fourth basement. You're second guessing yourself. You don't believe that it's correct, right? So like you're digging, and I would dig for 2-3 hours, and of course I'm getting down in the basement checking it with a stick. My first couple holes, I don't trust it, right? And you can't believe, you're looking at it thinking there's no way this thing is doing what it's telling me. And then you get down there and check it, thing's absolutely perfect. It's a little embarrassing.
Nice. Can you share, that's one example. Can you share another example where IDIGBEST saved you time, money, or manpower?
So the coolest thing I figured out actually, and I remember it was actually, I'm not on a job right now, and it was actually on a job for this customer. I was doing a giant house in subdivision. It was a walkout. It was real steep, straight off the curb, straight down the hill. I think I had 11 different steps in the footings. So I literally just kept every time I changed, drop another foot, drop another foot, drop another foot, should chase good ground. And I never had to get out once. As long as the thing could see that laser, we were good. I never had to get out. It's not a bunch of math. I'm not, refiguring. Just drop another foot, save all your benchmarks, and away you go. Everything just kind of works off zero.
Nice. So how has IDIGBEST reduced the need for additional labor?
I actually don't even really have a lot of labor anymore. My drivers shovel my tracks other than that. But before they move stuff, I don't even really need labor on site anymore. To be honest with you, I don't have a grade guy. I put all the dirt where I needed to go with the machine. We try and do everything with machines. You just don't have a guy that's, running around with a paint can trying to check and take some out here and do this, whatever. It's just, you just don't have a guy. And then you don't have to count on him understanding what you're saying through a windshield because he can't hear you. So you're not waving. You don't need it. Mm-hmm. You just set this up and go.
Would you say IDIGBEST gives you an edge over your competitors?
100%.
How?
I'm the guy that when you say I want to build a house and you have a concrete guy, I'm the guy. The concrete guy says no, use that guy because he makes our life wait.
Cool.
It just works out.
So, have your clients or maybe GCs that you partner with noticed the difference in your work since you started implementing IDIGBEST?
Yeah, because even it all comes down to the concrete guys, right? We're digging in the dirt, they're putting concrete in it, we're filling it back in. So they are going to be the ones. No, but every time they do a house, nobody's ordering extra concrete. There's not an extra 2 loads of stone because you went too deep for a mile. Just everything stays right where it's supposed to. So when you figure it, if you cut it that way, all your material works out good. You're saving money on that end. Their concrete guys are in and out way faster because everything's flat, so they're not fighting or, to set up footings, do all that stuff. It helps them quite a bit. Plus, you're cutting flat buckets, so there's no crumbs at the bottom. It doesn't all turn to buck, and they're not slipping and sliding to the basement. Everything's just
cool. So if you were talking to another excavation contractor, how would you describe the benefits of IDIGBEST?
I got mine hung up in there.
I still got you guys.
Oh, there you go.
I hear you now. Did you hear my question though?
We're back.
Can you hear me?
All right, well, I got you. What was the question?
Well, I was asking if you were talking with another excavation contractor, how would you describe the benefits of IDIGBEST?
Well, number one overall is the labor, but I mean the efficiency and the quality of your work once you get rocking and rolling. I mean, just the quality of work in general is unbelievable. You can turn out such a good product, and and you're a guy or two short on every job. You can do more than one at a time. You can just keep everybody moving.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to someone who is hesitant in investing in this technology?
Oh, he'll 3 basements it'll take you to save the time and energy that you put into doing it the old way.
Mm.
It does take a long time at all. It's an absolute game changer. Just the fact that the guys you would normally have with you every day can go to it. They're doing a backfill. They're doing a great job. They're doing whatever else you got for them to do. All the other things, right? Mm-hmm. Your excavator can just be your excavator. And if all the dirt stays on site, you're there by yourself. Your whole crew can go somewhere else. Just that alone, you're making twice as money every day.
So would you recommend IDIGBEST to other excavation companies?
Every time. Been recommending it for 8 years.
Awesome. So if you could sum up your experience with the IDIGBEST system in just one sentence, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say I'm where I'm at in my business right now because of IDIGBEST. To be honest, I think so because I wouldn't keep the custom work that I have without being able to do it better than everybody else. So yeah, I would say it's given me a chance to get to where I'm at now, where it's easy to do the hard stuff.
Cool. Anything else at all you'd like to add about your experience using IDIGBEST technology?
Well, I can't wait to see what's coming. I think we got more coming down the pipeline. It's a lot of fun, picking Phil's brain and trying to get him to do more cool stuff for us. But I'm excited to keep going, put it on more machines, get more guys running.
Very cool. Matt, thank you so much for your time and coming on. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good day, guys.
Yep.
Thanks,
Take
Matt.
care.
Appreciate it.
That's it.
Phil, can you hang back a little bit? I got a couple more questions for you, sir.
You bet.
So that was pretty insightful to hear his, impressions and how he's using it. That's cool. So what has been the most rewarding part of your journey with IDIGBEST?
I love my job. I always loved excavating. I would get my son back into it now. That's kind of a fun thing. I've always had the ability to build things and work on stuff. And we're building GPS right now. I built it back in 2014, but it was so expensive. But the most rewarding thing is like right now, Joey, he's 17. He started when he was 16. Took him out of school. He's doing online school in Indiana. They do that. It's great. I mean, it's the same transcripts and everything. He works an hour at school a day, and he's out digging footers. He's on his maybe 10th footing job for track homes, which is very hard to dig. It's just rush going on. And he hasn't messed one up yet. He's got the dig system running, and he wasn't anywhere of a great digger. You don't learn how to dig till you get real time experience, but I've been working with him, and when you can't dig too deep and you can figure out how to line up, he's doing great. I mean, I cannot ever imagine guys not complaining at you at first when you dig footers, when you're digging against guys that dig 2 houses, 3 houses a day, and they're 100 mile an hour. I mean, they're almost crazy. You know what I mean? But he's
The pickup.
and so I've been writing new software. That's a rewarding thing for him. I call it AI. I mean, and I started making different levels because I'm watching him out there. And I'm going, I can add this and make his job safer, that he's going to do a good job. And then so I've been adding all different kinds of modes of digging for different people, different experiences. I'm building new GPS so you can just walk out and lay it out. I'm doing the first layouts with that down to a price where everybody's got to have it because it's so cheap now. In the old days, it was 60,000. Now it's 8,000 for base station and that. And he can see it on the screen. Everybody doesn't have that yet. Matt and all of them will get it later on, but he can see when his boom clicks in line with the back of the boom and where the bucket is to the line exactly where he's digging. He could lose his lines, everything. It's going to tell him where he's at. So it's sort of small jobs. It's all meant for the little guy. Yeah, I just love working on it. That's all I can tell you.
Cool. So if you could go back to the beginning of this journey, is there anything you would do differently?
No, but it took a long time. There's nothing. When I started it, I mean, I used to go to shows in 2012. I started showing stuff off in the World of Concrete about 2011, and just got back from the show. And people go, "Is this real?" I mean, all the time. I still have phone calls, and people just, "What do you mean it digs?" I said, "No, it's not just to indicate. It actually has hydraulics to assist you." And everybody's got to get the point. I patented the valve so they feel your hands, how fast you want to dig, how fast it makes correction. It's not like a bulldozer where you get on it and you got your GPS or your laser grade, and you've got to go a certain speed so it stays at the right. If you go too fast, you get a sine wave, they call it, because it can't keep up. You go too slow, it shatters. But the IDIGBEST system, it feels how fast you're digging because those speeds change constantly with an excavator because of the relief valves. It's like slipping a clutch all the time. Otherwise, the truck would die on the hill. It's like having an automatic, the hydraulics on an excavator, and it's full blast. There's no system out there. Cat's got a kind of a system, and Trimble and them have some stuff. Way more cost. Accuracy's not quite there. It's fun to put one of these on a Cat system and watch their system just lag. The speed's incredible.
So what motivates you to keep innovating in this space?
I just love it. I've probably patented 28 things. I just made a new patent to make all laser grading systems run on GPS. Just add it to a laser grader, and now you're 3D. Just patents on blades, patents on different buckets. Just it's like you're on top of a wave, and you can see everything everybody needs. And the electronics are getting so good, and the machines. It's just I just love it. I'm addicted to it.